So the NHL season finally starts tomorrow. It's time for my standings predictions. I'm going to do it all in one video. Starting at the Metro, first place I have the New Jersey Devils with 114 points. Second, the Carolina Hurricanes with 112 points. Third, the New York Rangers with 104 points. Fourth, the Pittsburgh Penguins with 99 points and making the first wildcard spot. Fifth, the New York Islanders with 95 points. Sixth, the Washington Capitals with 93 points. Seventh, the Columbus Blue Jackets with 81 points. And eighth, the Philadelphia Flyers with 65 points. The division title between the Hurricanes and Devils will be close, but I'm giving the Devils a slight edge as I think they have a better forward core. I think the Rangers will take a slight step back after losing all their trade deadline acquisitions, but I do think they'll still have a similar record. I think the Penguins will take a step forward. I think the addition of Erik Karlsson will get them back to the playoffs. I do think Karlsson is a little overrated as far as how many points he'll put up, but I think he'll definitely still be a great addition to their top four and their power play. The Islanders should be about the same as last year, a mid-team overall, but Sorokin should steal them some games. It pains me to put the Caps at 6, but hear me out. If this team is somewhat healthy, I definitely think they can make the playoffs, but that's a massive if. The past few years, they've been one of the most injured teams in the league. Things haven't gone their way, so I just kind of have to assume that's what's going to happen again. The Blue Jackets, well, I definitely don't think they'll be competing for a playoff spot. They'll definitely be much improved from the disastrous season last year, adding Fantilli, Provorov, Steverson. Then the Flyers at 8 shouldn't need much explanation. They were already bad last year, now no longer have Provorov or Hayes. Moving on to the Atlantic, first place at the Toronto Maple Leafs with 113 points. Second, the Ottawa Senators with 104 points. Third, the Tampa Bay Lightning with 99 points. Fourth, the Buffalo Sabres with 97 points and in the second wildcard spot. Fifth, the Boston Bruins with 96 points. Sixth, the Florida Panthers with 94 points. Seventh, the Detroit Red Wings with 91 points. And eighth, the Montreal Canadiens with 75 points. This was the hardest division to predict, but I think the Leafs easily win it. They already have one of the best forward cores in hockey, a good defense, good goaltending, and added a lot of grit to their roster over the offseason. The Senators have a very young core looking ready to go and add Tarasenko over the offseason, so I think they definitely finished second in this division. I would have had the Lightning second before the Vasilevsky injury. I definitely think some people are overreacting as far as thinking they're going to completely miss the playoffs, but I definitely think Ottawa finishes higher than them now. Sabres, a lot of people think Devin Levi's overhyped to just be a 21-year-old, and I agree, but they still have a pretty good forward core and a good defense, so I think they'll be enough for a second wildcard spot. Bruins, I know a lot of people didn't have them high last year, and then they ended up saying the points record, but I just can't see them finishing higher than these other teams this year. Everyone says they were so dominant last year, they should still be a playoff team even without Bergeron and Krejci, but something I think a lot of people are forgetting is how many players had a career year last year. Like Olmark, he's always been a good goalie, but never a Vezina finalist before, never even Vezina conversation. Another one's Hampus Lindholm. He's always been a good defenseman, top pair guy, but never in Norris conversation before. Just so many things went right for them last year, it's going to be hard for them to replicate a lot of it. The Florida Panthers, I know they just made the Stanley Cup Finals, but they still barely made the playoffs last year. And when you look at how they made that deep playoff run, Bobrovsky just caught fire at the right time. I don't think he's going to do that again. And then other guys like Verhaeghe and Montour were just unreal in the playoffs last year. I don't think they're going to repeat it. The only two players I think are going to repeat what they did last year, have similar years, are Kachuk and Barkov. The Red Wings do have some good young pieces, but I still think they're a few years away from being able to contend for a playoff spot. And Montreal will be better than last year, but they're still easily the worst team in the Atlantic. Now for the Central, in first place I have the Dallas Stars with 121 points and winning the President's Trophy. Second, the Colorado Avalanche with 110 points. Third, the Minnesota Wild with 105 points. Fourth, the Nashville Predators with 94 points. Fifth, the Winnipeg Jets with 92 points. Sixth, the St. Louis Blues with 88 points. Seventh, the Arizona Coyotes with 82 points. And eighth, the Chicago Blackhawks with 65 points. Dallas is stacked in all areas with a great forward core, great defensive core, and one of the best goaltenders in Jake Ottinger. Colorado, I don't really trust them to stay healthy, but they are still a great team, obviously being led by McKinnon, Rantanen, and Makar. Minnesota has great offensive star power, good goaltending and defense, but their depth is a little lacking on both ends. I still think they're a safe playoff team, though. The Predators and Jets are about the same, in my opinion, both mid. Both have amazing goaltenders. Nashville has one of the best defensemen in the league, though, as well as adding Ryan O'Reilly over the offseason, so that's why I give a slight edge to them. The Blues are kind of in a retool. They do have some good pieces on forward, but their defense is pretty mid, and their goaltending is below average, so I think they finished 6th. A lot of people think the Coyotes are underrated, and I definitely see what they mean. They've got one of the more underrated stars in Clayton Keller, an up-and-coming star in Logan Cooley, and some decent additions over the offseason, but I still just can't see them finishing higher than 7th. Then the Blackhawks at 8th shouldn't need much explaining. They've got Bedard, then Jones, then like a few second-liners, and then no one else. Finally, the Pacific Division, first place I have the Edmonton Oilers with 108 points. Second, the Vegas Golden Knights with 107 points. Third, the LA Kings with 105 points. Fourth, the Seattle Kraken with 101 points in the first wildcard spot. Fifth, the Vancouver Canucks with 96 points in the second wildcard spot. Sixth, the Calgary Flames with 96 points. Seventh, the Anaheim Ducks with 68 points. And eighth, the San Jose Sharks with 55 points. The Oilers have obviously some of the best star power in the league at forwards, a good defensive core, and good goaltending. I do think they'll regress a little bit, though, because I think that power play will come back down to earth. Still be great, but not historic. Vegas, the defending Cup champs, have a similar team to last year except for losing Riley Smith. I just question if guys like Eichel and Stone can stay healthy for them. Some of the Kings' core is getting older now, but they should still be a pretty good team. Acquired Pierre-Luc Dubois over the offseason. Quentin Byfield might finally take a step forward now that he's healthy and playing on the first line. The only real concern for them is goaltending. I think Seattle will be pretty similar to last year, except I think Matty Beniers will take another step forward. Ty Carte might as well. The Canucks have one of the best centers and defensemen in the league with Patterson and Hughes, and also have some other good pieces like Miller, Kuzmenko, and I'm expecting a bounce back season from Demko as well. The depth is still kind of lacking, but their horrible start is what hurt them last year, so I think as long as that doesn't happen again, they can surprise a lot of people. The Flames had a massively disappointing season last year, but I think Huberdeau and Marchand will both bounce back to some extent, so they should at least be fine for a wildcard spot. The Ducks will definitely improve from a horrible season last year. I think Zegras might take another step forward. Carlson, while he is a rookie, will still, I think, be a decent impact in his rookie year. Their defense is still pretty bad, though, and their goaltending isn't great either. And their Sharks at 8th shouldn't surprise anyone. They have them finishing last in the league. They were already really bad last year, and trade Erik Karlsson, who had 101 points. Their offense is bad. Their defense and goaltending is terrible. They're going to be awful this year, but it's probably a good thing in the long run because that means I'm currently favoring them to get the first overall pick. But yeah, those are all my standings predictions for the 2023-24 NHL season. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.